every class in this game, you can play any class in the game and make it to the end game, play the party bossing, do what you gotta do. Yes. Some classes are better than others in this current meta,
but that can always change. Every class can go from good to bad to good.
There's more 6 job coming, of course, so we're gonna be getting a lot of changes with 6 job, and this will change in the future.
I will say as well, give about like the first 15 classes to get placement before like the real solid placement starts happening, because when you start off, it's like, do I put it here? Do I put it here? And then you get further down the list and you get a class. Oh, I should put it here. Like, things will change on this.
Yes.
We're going to start the tier list off with a fan favorite, a very highly played class, a very popular class, been popular since the game has started.
Yes.
Night Lord. Class that most people say needs buffs.
Yes.
I would disagree.
I definitely think Night Lord right now, I think it goes in almost bis tier. It's definitely not even close to average. Night Lord,
almost bis.
It's one of the easiest classes to get your damage off in bossing, solo, and party. It is amazing for party bossing. It fits perfect for the bind and burst meta that we're currently in. This class has very good movement.
It's a last resort class as well, so obviously high risk, high reward kind of class. You do not have any lifesteal, do not have any iframes besides Jenny. But like Joe said, the movement does make up for this. It does make it very like elusive in a lot of bossing scenarios. So you do have that going for you, even though the class doesn't have iframes or any of that. All right, next class. Speaking of Arc. So now this was a class that we used to have its own tier for, and the tier was literally at the very bottom of the tier list. It used to be called literally Arc tier because this class was so bad. Just like we said in the beginning of the video, things can change, and they absolutely will change. But Arc was one of the worst classes in the game for some time. Now, one of the better classes in the game, probably in almost bis, I would say.
I definitely want to try our best to describe the class as well. For each of these classes
100%.
I think it definitely goes in almost bis for sure. It's a 2-minute class.
2-minute class.
Has a very big burst. Here's the thing. Yes, it could go in God tier. Hold on, we're getting to the. We're getting there. The overall playstyle I think is a little bit harder to get into right away.
More unique than other classes.
More unique for sure. Yes, has very good kit. Does have a double flash jump. Does have iframes. Has short and quick burst. The class is very good. It's a low-key teetering on God tier right now, honestly.
It's almost teetering on God tier. For the other reason as well, this class does literally give 7% FD to all the party members on burst. It even gives more final damage to archer classes. And it's doing 3-minute damage in parties.
Yes.
The class doesn't have a lot of cons to it. Honestly, the few cons that I would say is obviously some of the buffs that this class has, being on a 4-minute cooldown as a 2-minute class, can be a little bit difficult to play around when you're playing in longer boss fights. But overall, like, the damage does make up for a lot of the flaws that this class does have. And like Joe said, you are iframe during burst, so you're pretty much guaranteed every single burst to be flawless unless something dramatic happens. It doesn't drop it at all.
I think Arc could definitely go into a God tier.
We can throw it in God tier for right now. Let's throw it into God tier for right now because of the reason that this class does do 3-minute damage as a 2-minute class. One of the best origins in the entire game. This is a support class as well. I mean, has multiple iframes. The movement is insane as well too.
Oh, it's at the top of all the criteria. Like, it meets everything. Like, it's good overall at every point in the game. Anyway, 100%. We're gonna move on to Mr. Pally. Pally is a 3-minute support class that also is a pretty good DPS class.
Yeah.
Now, this class is I wouldn't even say, I mean, it's a brick. Like, I feel like this class really has a good time in bossing, doesn't really die, easy to pick up.
Yes, it's a very simplistic class. It is very, it has a very good kit for its survivability overall. It is I wouldn't say it's a full support because it works like kind of how Lynn does, where you can only pretty much give your support to one person. But the support that it does give is still very good if you give it to somebody who is very strong. Unlike Lynn, though, this class does actually stack with Benny, and it does provide quite a bit of FD to the one person that you are pairing with.
Yeah, now a lot of people when picking mains, like fluidity. I don't know if Pally is that fluid. It has the clunky up jump.
It is
has
clunkier.
It has a very weird rush that makes the class feel like a brick. So that's definitely something to consider when picking a main.
Well, what I was gonna say is I would almost argue that you could put this in almost bis because this class is very, very, very strong. Its burst is really good. The origin isn't the craziest, but the support it mixed with the damage itself is very, very, very good overall. And this class does well at all stages of the game. Like its survivability does allow newer players to pick up and perform well in bossing. Because of that, the solo is not bad. The class has pretty okay DPM as well. It does have a lot of 90 seconds as well, 60 seconds. The class performs very well in all stages of the game. Kanna.
I don't care what anybody says. Kanna, maining Kanna in 2024 right now you're having a great time playing this class. Now there are some like little things here and there. Obviously, it's a non-GMS class. It is a KM or non-KMS class.
Doesn't even matter anymore.
So, I mean, that could be something to consider, but bro, this class has gotten very good changes. Their origin is insanely good. Their support capabilities is actually, yeah, y'all are right, bro. Look at this shit goes in God tier. Support capabilities in a party bossing, very good. Their solo bossing just got giga buffed. Obviously, there's no more. Their
solo bossing is insane, man.
There's no more bad solo bossing.
They gained, what, 25 FD in solo bossing? They pretty much got their party bossing damage, as they should, in solo bossing. But their overall kit is absolutely insane. I mean, this class has iframes. This class gives 18% FD. This class has lifesteal. This class is literally binding the boss for 15 seconds. The origin is insanely amazing. You're iframed throughout your entire origin while you're using one of their burst skilled bank. What else? The class did lose some of its survivability, where you now are able to take abnormal status, whereas before you weren't with Haku. So that is a minus. But overall, I mean, the class's kit and now it has a permanent up jump as well. But overall, this class's kit is literally A+. And amazing. And Sukuno's also got buffed a little bit better quality life, so you don't have to wait.
Yes, it's not as clunky. It's not as, you don't have to be as pinpointy with Sukuno's.
Yes, like you don't have to backload your burst as much. Like, you're able to burst earlier, and that does make it more consistent, especially when you do consider party bossing as well. Now you're like relying on everybody else. Your burst isn't absolutely griefed if people burst too early.
If you want to play
in almost every situation.
Yeah, support class that has pretty decent solo bossing, amazing party bossing, and it's a little bit of a challenging class to play. I mean, not very challenging, but there's a little bit of class identity that you can weave in. It's a tele class as well. That's also pro for some people. I think it's god tier. I think it's a very, very good main right now in the current meta in 2024. Very, very solid.
Ice Lightning.
Okay, this is our first reconsider.
Ice Lightning. It's like.
Actually, it's
the
like
thing with Ice
Lightning. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's almost like swap mains.
Yeah, no.
Like, because like, here's the thing with Ice Lightning, this class, it's like right there to where you could just press a button, job change the bishop, and you are literally god tier. But Ice Lightning does not have that strong of a burst. The DPM isn't that great either on it.
Doesn't really have any survivability as well. Besides, of course, E-form.
It has a longer bind, but it's a 3-minute bind.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, 13-second iframe is a bind. That's not even something to consider, bro. Like, I mean, I guess, yes, it's a 13-second iframe, but it's the bind.
I don't know. I wouldn't recommend this class to anybody. I would recommend people main swapping off this class.
I understand.
And every mage does have E-form,
listen,
yes.
I know you don't use it to bind, but I'm just saying, like, if you're in a position you need an iframe, you use that for an iframe, it's going to bind the boss. Like,
it's a 3-minute, bro. It's a 3-minute cooldown. Like, that's not good at all. That's not good at all.
Like, I don't
You need to key down the entire time as well. Like, yeah, it's nothing like special at all. It's nothing special at all.
I don't think it's a great class. I think it's in a weird spot right now where it needs buffs, and it's a cool main. I mean, the thing that the class had going for it was good training, but like, training doesn't really matter too much anymore. If you like Ice Lightning, play Ice Lightning. Again,
play it all you want.
Every class on this list is mainable, is playable. Some classes just have it better than others. It is what it is. Maybe Ice Lightning becomes the best class in the game.
It could, and it may.
We on to our fan favorite.
We on to bowmaster. He said Night Lord, his intrusive thoughts are winning. He said Night Lord.
Oh,
his intrusive thoughts are winning.
Make a new tier at the bottom. So this is exactly where it's not going to do. If we're being honest, for the tier list, y'all are gonna all meme and say this shit is dog shit, deserves to go at the bottom. This shit definitely goes average.
It's an
easily.
average,
and
bro.
let me make my case for y'all
Easily.
because y'all need to understand why it goes in average.
Right.
So bowmaster is a very easy to learn class, right? This class has very good survivability. Very good survivability. Y'all can't even deny that. Y'all love to say it can't die. You're gonna have a great time playing this class. You're not really gonna die that much. It has blood arrows, which are lifesteal. It has dummies, which y'all like to say are doors. Okay?
Which they are.
I mean, y'all are just gonna keep clowning, but
no, I mean, bro, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
If bowmaster can clear hard calling,
here's the thing. Here's the thing,
Say
bro.
what needs to be said.
Bowmaster is the exact same spot as hero on a burst list, right? It's the same spot. But you could absolutely not put hero at swap mains. And what does Bowmaster have that's better than hero? Better survivability, better support. It doesn't matter. You guys can cope all you want to. Bowmaster is absolutely going in average.
Next on the list we have Shadower.
Another class where it was a bit underwhelming for a little while, but honestly now this class is a lot fucking better than it was.
It's not
without
even
a second mastery.
It's not even a swap mains. It's definitely not a swap mains.
No,
it's not.
no,
like
no,
you can
no,
swap if you want to swap. You have the option to swap on this class.
Yes.
Shadower is a 3-minute DPM / burst class. Does offer a little bit of party support. With smokescreen, has decent survivability with trick blade, and then obviously dark sight. Has
you're not putting Shadower behind Bowmaster, are you? I mean, it absolutely goes above Bowmaster.
Oh no, I just kind of threw it in there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where to
people
put
are losing their shit.
Oh yeah, I just threw it in there.
Yeah, definitely there. Definitely right there. Okay, sorry. What were you saying?
I was saying it has pretty decent movement. Obviously offers party support, good solo bossing. It is a little bit more complex than other classes. There's a little bit more setup when you're solo bossing. Like you have to work a little bit more for your damage than other classes. So 100%. That could be a con or a pro for a lot of people. But the damage
much higher skill ceiling.
Yeah, much higher skill ceiling for sure. Like you can do cool shit with Shad. I think average is good. I think it's just a decent class right now. You also get more money while you train. Yes, that's a big thing.
20% built-in miso. I think it's about 10% final miso more. So if you get 100 mil in 10 minutes, you'll get 110 mil playing on this class. So it is just overall like the best farmer in the game in terms of for getting extra money. So that is absolutely a pro to this class. You do have an iframe. It isn't like an iframe that you'd relatively use for iframe. You'd mainly use it for damage, but it is still an iframe.
And a dash, which the dash is a little bit slow, but has like the obviously dash / like tele capabilities as well with charges. So I mean, it's a cool class. Average.
Yes.
If it gets a little bit of a damage boost, maybe
it's very good.
Yeah,
it's very good. This class would almost be in BIS if it got its origin slightly buffed again. Very good.
Yes, I agree. Dual blade. I mean, it could go and reconsider. So the thing is, dual blade is a 3-minute burst class with 90-second burst and obviously DPM capability. It's like a mix of fucking everything. It's like doesn't really have a big burst.
Does have decent survivability though.
Yes.
Does have decent survivability.
Does have good survivability. Has decent movement. Some people find it clunky, but you can fly around the map.
Yes.
Does have iframes as well. A little, I wouldn't say challenging to get used to, but there's just like more buttons to press. I mean, it's just pressing a button every 5 seconds.
More complicated.
Yeah.
I would not say that this up jump is ass. I would say this is a very good up jump. I honestly think that this up jump that you can do a few things with is kind of like Night Lord up jump. It can be ass in some situations, but it can also be very good. Now, this class has a very low burst. Unfortunately, it was one of the top or bottom 10 for overall burst itself. So it does not perform that well in party bossing, but dual blade at a very... Yeah, I was going to say dual blade at a very peak level can have some of the fastest solo times in the game for certain bosses. And this class does have the capability of min clearing a lot of the bosses because of its short 60-90 second skills that it has. So, I mean, the class is... It's not the best, but it's not the absolute worst in the game. It's a cool class. All right, corsair. Corsair DPM class, very, very, very awkward class. Honestly, in this meta, it's a very awkward class. It's, you know, you have to throw down all your summons. You're playing like 90 seconds. The class is even the movement on the class is very, very like interesting. I mean, actually,
the movement is cool.
The movement is good. The movement is good. Actually, the movement is actually good. It does have like Demon Slayer's glide that you guys see Demon Slayer's doing, and it does have its little like bullet shoot that it does for a little backstep or whatever.
Movement is very, very good.
But it's just the overall way that this class is set up currently just does not work well with a lot of other.
Yeah, like it's clunky in bosses too. Like you're just not gonna want to be doing all that, putting down your summons. Like you're. I mean, I know it's very small things, but it's just
an RNG class as well, I believe. With whatever the skill is called. Can't remember it.
Whatever.
But it does have banner.
I mean, it could potentially get a big buff with upcoming 6 job, but that's not really something to consider 100%. Right now because every job can.
Yes.
I think swap mains is fine. I think it's at the bottom of the tier list. I don't think it's a good main at all.
Good point as well. It does have training advantages to other classes. It is a dice class. All the pirates are though, so it kind of negates that. It's not unique to Corsair.
Yeah, I agree. We're gonna go to CM now. CM used to be one of the worst classes in the game, and CM has actually just recently got a pretty decent buff. I think CM goes in average. I think it goes above bowmaster, honestly. Average above BM. I think is a good spot for CM. CM is what is CM? Because I know CM's a 90-second, but is it overall 3-minute burst?
It's a very strong 3-minute burst and a very decent origin as well too. Yeah, 90 seconds / 3 minutes. But the bullet buff that it got is what is the highlight of this class overall. The movement is a bit awkward and kind of clunky. But
I don't think the movement on CM is awkward or clunky at all.
It can be awkward and clunky, but once you master it, the movement is very, very, very good. Very good movement.
Also has survivability, if I'm not mistaken. Does have iframes with the class. I think CM is better than Shed. It could actually be above Shed. It does offer banner as well. Yeah, I think so too.
It actually could be.
All right, yeah. A short, fast burst as well.
Very quick burst.
Yeah, flag, dice, and monkey. Yeah.
30-second CDI frame. Yup, has some good survivability, good movement, good burst, good support. It checks all the boxes of what a very decent class is.
It's just a well-rounded class. Like it has a little bit of everything.
It's not strong enough to be above average at the moment, but maybe a few more buffs and it will be, for sure.
Dawn Warrior. As a main, Dawn Warrior is a 3-minute support / DPS class. Very, very, very easy to play. Has iframes. It's not average. It's definitely not average. Has iframes. Very easy to play. Very easy to master. Has party support, which of course is very good. Has a solid, has solid damage. Has a
solid burst. Has a solid burst. This is a class that is in the top 20 of overall burst. This class, although it is a very good support class, very, very, very good support class, giving 15 perma FD. The class also is in the top 20 of overall best burst classes in the game too. So again, even though it's giving good support, it's not just support as well. Performs very well in solo bossing, very well in party bossing, has a multiple iframes, very good survivability as well. And obviously, like Joe said, it's like everybody has good training now, so you can't really talk about that anymore, but the training is very lazy.
Blaze Wizard is a 2-minute support DPS. The thing is, I don't know if it goes in almost bis or average. The reason why
you can't put it. You got to put it in average.
I think it goes at the top of average.
Burst is too bad. The burst is too bad for it to be an almost bis. It's a good support class, 100%. Very, 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 very good support class. Same thing. 15% final damage on burst, 10% final damage perma to the entire party.
It's not very fluid. Like the class feels clunky. A lot of people do not like the way this class plays. It is a mage class that does not have a telly in a very short flash jump. It does have a
Yes.
teleport skill where you can place a teleport and then teleport back to that, but there's no on-demand teleport to go left or right. You have to flash jump, and it's a very small flash jump too.
Now, if we talk about solo bossing, the actual bossing for the class is very, very clunky. It's like dual blades burst, but you're stuck in animation, so you pretty much have to burn Jenny every single time you burst while you're bursting to pretty much get off your entire burst. It's just overall like the clunkiness of this class is just not worth what you're giving when you have other classes like Battle Mage.
I think what would make this class very good and be like almost biz, obviously upping the solo damage, making the burst low-key iframed or shorter, and then giving it a teleport. And then the class jumps up so much more. And we're going to move on to Hero. Hero is a class that has sunk in the tiers over the past couple of years. This shit is definitely overrated. It is, I mean, it's overrated isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad class. It's average. Does have a decent burst. Solo bossing is pretty good. Party bossing is decent. Has iframes as well. Does have a dash too. Has a
good
clunky up jump. I don't like the up jump personally. I think it's a little bit clunky. Overall, the class is just average in every single aspect.
This class does have here's the thing. I would almost, from what I used to think Hero had really bad movement, but to be honest, this class has very, very, very good movement. Obviously, the up jump is the one negative, but the movement on this class is god tier overall. If you actually
you can do some cool stuff for sure.
Yes, you can do some cool stuff if you actually play the class very well. It is also offering support with rage and then the debuff that it gives to the boss, which is essentially 5% damage. So it's nothing crazy, but yeah, I like the class was overrated. The origin was way overtuned at level 1, so everybody thought this class was like insane at the start of 6 shot, but since everybody else is caught up, this class is has fallen quite a bit.
Can flash jump after the up jump, which is good. But yeah, I mean, it's just something to get used to. The up jump is definitely different because there's a little bit of delay on the up jump.
Yes,
but
exactly.
Which can be a turnoff. That's what a lot of people complain about on Hero. It's just average. Yeah, it's an average DPS. We're gonna move on to Demon Slayer. Another 2-minute burst DPS class. This, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if it goes in god tier. Okay, so this is a main
it's
tier
definitely
list.
I don't know. I don't think
for a main though, like we're just talking about overall as a main. I think this shit is such a good main.
It's not god tier.
But think of it as a main.
You can't say god tier. It's not god tier. No, it's literally not. You guys look for a main?
For a main, yeah. Like when you're picking a main, like just because, like if it doesn't have support, it doesn't mean it's not god tier. Like imagine you're picking Demon Slayer to be a DPS.
I mean, Demon Slayer isn't even in the top 10 for burst though.
Bro,
as well either.
That's because that shit's inflated as fuck.
No, it's deflated. I deflated it. I deflated it, and it's not. It's like we're just thinking at Mop and.
But think of everything that the class has. Okay, let me just break it down as a main. The class is fucking giga fluid to play, has very good movement, has iframes, does a lot of damage, is literally iframed on burst. Like you're doing hella good damage on burst and you're not really having to work for it. Like I think this class overall is very good in every single box that choosing a main has to take. Like this shit ticks it all. Maybe it could go at the top of almost biz. Like
I mean, we can agree to disagree. We can put it in god tier. I just think that this class is very, very, very overhyped. Well, not overhyped, but people look at Moth and Alan, and then they base their opinion off of that. If you look at the average Demon Slayer, most Demon Slayers are like, it's not even close to that.
No, but that's I'm not saying like just because they do good damage that means it's god tier. I'm just saying like the overall, like the damage output, like the fluidity of the class, like its mobility, like everything is fucking really, like you're not gonna have a bad time maining this class. Like it could go at the top of biz, honestly.
I mean that is true. That is true. And that is one thing that we will talk about with this class is that yes, the training is okay. Every class has good training, but this class you literally don't even have to press button. Like you can literally hold 2 buttons and that's all you have to do.
Yeah, it's definitely,
and you loot everything.
Let's move on to Wind Archer. So Wind Archer, I think this shit either goes on reconsider or far end of average, bro. Like
no, the movement I would even say, I mean the movement is fine, but like bro, it's kind of a stuck in the mud class.
Okay, so here's what I think. As a main, like let's just as a main, you're not really thinking of, you're just as a main. So the class is pretty easy to pick up, has very good survivability, has pretty decent movement. Like this shit's low key. I mean, I know it's not an iframe, but like you're pretty much
Survivability is god tier.
No, the survivability is amazing. Like the survivability is very, very good on WoW. The damage is
some
lacking
of the strongest in the game.
A little bit. Does have dummy for solo bossing, so your experience playing this class at an earlier level, like you're gonna be able to do bosses way earlier on, like way earlier on. The burst just is not that good, and just does not fit in like the party bossing.
But it is clunkier that you are in Hurricane. Yes, it is clunkier that you're stuck in place in Hurricane. That's the one thing that does suck a lot with this class, is that you cannot walk around in Hurricane like a lot of other classes can. You're stuck in. You are stuck. You cannot move. You have to stop hurricaning to move, which is a very big turnoff for a lot of people. Yeah. Obviously, you can stay air stalled for a very long time, which is overall good. And the whatever the skill is allows you to take 300% damage of your total HP, which gives you like god tier survivability. It's not an iframe, but you can pretty much tank everything in the game without dying.
All right, we're gonna move on to Nightwalker, which this is what a certified DPS. This is what a god tier. This is what a god tier DPS is.
What a god tier class looks like.
Aside from everything, we're gonna actually dive into Nightwalker and actually explain why this shit is so good. Why it is as good as it is. This is a 3-minute burst class that does an insane amount of damage. Has the best kit in the entire game. This class has lifesteal. This class has a built-in door. This class has overshield as well. The class fluidity of the class is amazing. It is fucking butter, bro.
Some of the best movement in the entire game. Animation cancel every single time you want to backstep without any cooldown as
Mobility. Has a literally an extra life, bro. A teleporter. It has a teleporter as well. This thing has
a teleporter.
Has Bowmaster's kit skinned on Nightwalker, but does crazy damage.
All right. Mihile.
I just think it's an average class.
It's an average. It's absolutely an average. Absolutely an average. Very good DPM. Very good survivability. Insane survivability. Some of the best survivability in the entire game, I would argue. I'd actually argue that this has the best survivability in the game. You are essentially iframed, 80% of the time? 80% of the time you're iframed.
Yep.
The burst is also pretty okay. It's average burst as well. It's not horrible. But the DPM is very good as well too. So it's a very overall good solid class.
Yeah, and also does have a party utility as well with the shield that it offers.
Yep, survivability. Yeah. Good survivability for other party members. It's not offering a lot of damage to other people, but it is offering that ability to survive longer in the boss.
Okay, Battle Mage. Battle Mage is a 3-minute support with decent damage. Not the greatest damage, but decent damage.
Decent damage. Not the best. Absolutely not the best by far. This class, you will not be the strongest person in your party.
Absolutely
in solo bossing, you will not have the fastest clear times.
No.
Nope. Absolutely, you will not. This class's damage is probably... I would say even slightly underneath average for overall damage output in solo bossing.
Yep.
But it has extremely good movement. This class has one of the best teleports in the entire game, without a doubt. This teleport is insanely amazing. Vertical TP, horizontal TP. Very fast animations as well, so you're not getting stuck in the mud like a lot of other classes. It performs very good in a lot of situations. But not only all of that, this class does also offer 21 FD perma to the entire party, so it is highly looked after for party bossing. So you absolutely will get into parties if you are looking to get into parties with a little bit more obsolete gear. You will be taken in. I mean, it's not the absolute best solo bossing in the game either.
I mean, what would make it not in god tier? I'm trying to think. Is there another reason why it wouldn't be in god tier?
More damage than Kanna? Does it do more damage than Kanna though? Does it actually have better damage than Kanna?
Very good main. Bam is a crazy good main. Crazy
party
good main.
shield. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess that's true. I guess the class is very good that you just look over that.
Wild Hunter. Wild Hunter is a 3-minute burst class. has party support. It's definitely not even close to reconsider. It's not. You guys. Oh, 2 minutes. I'm sorry. 2 minutes. This shit's getting a bad rep because of fucking Wild Hunter buffs, bro.
That's actually very strong, to be honest with
it's
you.
a very, very strong burst class. Now, the overall class, the fluidity of the class definitely brings this class down a lot because it's just a clunkier class. Now, the points that a lot of Wild Hunter mains will make is they don't really have a dash. Their fucking diagonal dash is very clunky. It's like slow and shit. Does have iframes though. It does have iframes.
Yes. I think the biggest problem with this class right now is that the class is very good mobility wise when you're on Jaguar, but you're not bossing on Jaguar. You boss off of Jaguar. So you pretty much don't get any of that actual mobility that you want on the class when you are actually bursting. Of course, in scenarios like Kalos, or in other scenarios like I'm trying to think of some where you'd have downtime where you're not doing damage on the boss, you'd be in Jaguar form, but otherwise in a boss fight, you're going to be off that Jaguar almost the entire time.
Right.
The class does have iframes. The class does offer good support, but like you guys said, they are giving Wild Hunter in a bottle. So it does kind of take away from the points of it.
I think it goes at the top of average though. I'm going to be honest.
Yes, I think it goes to the top of average because nonetheless, besides, let's just forget about the support overall. The class actually does very, very, very good damage. It is a very, very strong burst. Contrary to what a lot of people actually think, this class does do very, very, very good damage on its burst.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the clunkiness of the class being off of Wild Hunter and the Wild Hunter like buff slander that people dock this class too much for.
Let's move on to mechanic.
It's higher than average, obviously, just because of what it's bringing to the table. The class is a very, very, very weird
it's a weird playstyle for sure.
It's a weird playstyle. I shouldn't say clunky. It's unique playstyle. When you get used to the class, obviously it becomes very fluid to play. But getting used to it, sucking the robot the entire time, I feel like that's a huge turnoff for a lot of people.
Yes.
The kit itself on the class, which is what the highlight of the class is that it's essentially giving you 12% final damage perma, which is the biggest selling point. The actual solo bossing on this class is very, very good. This class doesn't have a very high full rotation, but getting the damage off in actual solo bossing is much easier to do on a class like mechanic than it is on a lot of other classes, making this class have pretty solid solo bossing, to be completely honest with you.
Now, how is this thing's... Does this thing have survivability? No. I don't even know if mechanic has survivability. I'm gonna be honest.
It has one iframe. I believe. I think it has one iframe.
60-second iframe. Okay,
yeah.
so it has a 60-second iframe. Okay, I mean, it's something. It's definitely something. I mean, it's a support as well, so it's always gonna have a better time.
Yes, and if we do want to consider like the actual burst in itself, this class is one of like the lowest bursts in the game. Bottom 5 burst. Bottom 5.
Okay.
So very, very, very low burst, but again, the support that it's offering and the very good solo bossing that it does provide, I'd definitely say it's almost.
I want to
bis,
throw at
honestly.
the end of almost bis, like high key.
The end
of almost bis.
Yes,
also, you
yes,
can't
yes,
get NX
yes.
for this shit. So like, well, you can, but like you're in that robot, so
I will say this class does have advantage. So if it's like if you have a battle mage in the party, right, and you are gonna determine getting either a Dawn Warrior or a mech, you're gonna pick the mech because the mech is going to stack with that battle mage. You're not gonna lose any FP.
I don't know. Blaster. All right, so Blaster's a very weird class. This is okay. So the thing is, it's a mains tier list. I don't know where I would put Blaster on a mains tier list because the damage is good. The survivability is extremely good on this class. The movement is very good, but the learning curve on this class is like...
I mean, you're not wrong. Like, the thing is, the damage is actually really, really good on this class. And the origin I think it just recently got buffed as well. But it's like, you're doing so much that it's such a massive turnoff for a lot of people, which brings it down like a ton.
I mean, this
honestly.
is a mains. That is also like good. I mean, yeah, it's a mains tier list. So
that
like you're gonna learn the class. So
yes,
I think it goes. Okay, the reason why I would put it at the end of average because the only reason you're picking this class PSA, if you pick this class, like, you are putting in work, bro. Like, you're moving
in
on
work.
this shit. Like,
Yes.
it's a just strict DPS. You have to work for this damage. You have to work. So I would put it at SWAT mains. Like, personally, I would never recommend Blaster because of the effort. I know a lot of people don't really want to do all that. But if you like the effort, it's a decent class. Like, you just got to learn it, of course.
100%. 100%. Like, yeah, 100%. I mean, it's definitely not the worst damage by far, but it's not the best at all. And you are putting in a lot of effort.
But again, it has good survivability, has really good movement too. You can do some really cool things on this class. So if you like all that and you're down to learn it, like, you'll have a good
up jump is... Yeah, the up jump is very cool as well too on this class. You can have like 6 up jumps. Very cool. There's a lot of cool things with this class. It's just not very popular because of how difficult it is to learn.
Demon Avenger, dude, honestly,
Demon Avenger is such a...
I wouldn't even recommend this.
Difficult.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it as well. Like, okay, yes, a good talking point at first. It is a demon class, so you do need to have an RFS if you're going to be competing, like, later on or obtaining 10% final damage.
Dude, I feel like we should put it in reconsider, bro.
It's almost in reconsider, because the thing is, this class is difficult for different reasons. It's not difficult for the actual, like, APM of the class, but it's difficult for the like, the actual play style for trying to optimize damage. This is pretty much like playing on last resort perma. Like, very hard to survive in bosses, and a lot of things will one-shot you playing this class.
And
it is very...
It's a DPM heavy class. And a lot of people don't like DPM.
Yes. That's... Yeah, exactly. And here's the reason why. I'm going to break it down for some people who always have the argument with DPM versus burst, and you're absolutely right. Like, one is never absolutely better than the other. But what I will say is when you are a DPM class, that means that you have to perform absolutely amazing for 90% of the time. If 80% of your damage is coming from your DPM, that means you need to play amazing the entire time. Where if you have a lot of mess ups, you die a lot, you get pushed around, you get locked, whatever, blah blah blah, you are going to be punished very, very, very hard on a class like Demon Avenger. But if you play a class where 80% of your damage is coming out within a 20-30 second window, that allows you to make a lot of mistakes within that 3-minute time frame. Whereas Demon Slayer, you're not allowed to make a lot of mistakes, because if you do, you're going to be punished pretty badly on it. It's one of the better solo bosses in the game, though, I will say that. The damage output is very, very, very good and very consistent. But yeah, overall, like, the class, the quality of life, and the difficulty of it, I just would not recommend this class.
Yeah, I agree. I would not recommend this shit. Xenon. Okay, so Xenon is a very amazing
long class.
It is a 3-minute burst class that also offers support. This class is literally actually like God. It is a God class, bro. Like, you can't even... The class
this goes above
Nightwalker.
This goes above Nightwalker.
It goes to the top of DPS. This shit is insane.
It's better than Nightwalker, yeah.
Has dice for training too. Has
good point.
It also offers it's also offering support to the party.
It's offering support. It has dice while you train. This class is iframed for your 3-minute burst off of Origin. Now, when you're in Origin, you're not going to be iframed, but you are iframed every 3 minutes off of Origin. This class also has a very, very, very niche reason to why it's so good as well. Even though it is very, very, very strong, this class is extremely hard to cap lines on, so it's going to be strong for a very long time, and even in any type of setting that you throw it in.
Yes, this is a very... If you like doing damage, you will love this class. It's just strictly how it is. You'll love this class. Also, does this class have iframes besides the burst? I think that's an iframe besides the burst.
I think, yes, it does have an iframe. It does have an iframe. It does have an iframe. Now, what I will say, and I do disagree with this point, but I will mention it, is that upgrading your gear is slightly more expensive than other classes, but for good reason. You're upgrading your gear, and even though it may be 20% whatever more expensive, you are doing 50% more final damage than every other class in the game. So to be honest, it's deserved. I would not even say it's a negative of the class. I don't even think that it's that bad value at all to upgrade for double primes. It's slightly more expensive, but who cares? You're doing 50% more damage, or if not 100% more damage than some of the lower tier classes in this game. So it's worth it.
Yes, it is worth playing this. Playing Xenon right now is worth it. It's perfect for the meta, and also it's second mastery. I know we haven't talked about 6th job. Second mastery was one of the better second masteries as well, so you're safe for the next year in terms of 6th job and just overall damage dealing.
Evan, this is a class that you have to work your ass off again for your damage. Very, very, very DPM heavy class. I once thought this class was a lot better than it actually is. But overall, it's not doing what it should be doing. It is offering support as well to other mages in the party, so that is a plus. But it's definitely not something that is going to override the overall playstyle of this class. Very challenging class to play. I wouldn't say high effort, high reward. I would say high effort, average reward. The burst is very low in this class as well, which is surprising. I thought this class was going to have a much higher burst. It's actually one of the lowest bursts in the game. Bottom 3, actually.
Yeah, I would
unfortunately.
put it above blaster and below hero, honestly. Because I don't think the fluidity of the class is very good. I think it's very hard to learn for a new player picking a main.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to have a good time on this class really at all. Like, they're going to have to work for, just going to have to work a lot harder.
It is good solo and it does have good movement. The TP is very, very, very good. I actually do want to make a point on this. The movement, the TP is very good on this class. Very, 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 very good on this class. So that is a pro to the class overall, is that it does have very quick, snappy movement that you can pretty much telecast every single animation. But again, like the work that you're doing is not very good. Not very good.
Yeah, I agree. I think where it is fine though. I think where it is fine. We'll move on. This is Thunderbreaker. Thunderbreaker is just, I mean, it's a DPM class. Not the biggest burst. Origin burst is pretty decent. Has very good movement.
Very good movement.
Does have iframes as well. I believe it has iframes. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it has one iframe. 45 second cooldown. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it has SI, but like, let's be honest, like, that's not a support. It's good
the
solo.
Origin on this class. Yes. Very, very, very good solo. It's actually not the worst in party anymore. The Origin on this class did get buffed, makes it slightly more of a 6-minute class, so it can actually perform in parties. You definitely will not be anybody's first pick when it comes to choosing parties. Some might say, I would even tell you that that it's full, but we ain't gonna talk about all that. But the movement on this class for solo bossing, if you like solo bossing, this is a very, 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 very good class. Very good class.
Yeah, does what it needs to do. And also, again, like, the movement is cool. You can do some fun things with it. Should move around the map. But yeah, I think just an average class right now.
Yes.
Next on this list, Lumi.
Definitely reconsider.
It's just really not the best. It's just class solo or party bossing.
Yeah.
The fluidity,
very low damage.
Yeah, the fluidity overall is kind of weird. I mean, it does have an up telly where you can kind of like telly after you jump, which is cool.
The overall class is just outdated, honestly.
Yeah, I think it
with
just
the
needs a
whole
rework.
like with the modes, it's like that. I don't understand the modes completely, but like just how this class works overall is just outdated. It absolutely will be reworked very soon.
Just a fucking below average class, bro. Just a below average class.
Marksman next.
Yeah. All right, marksman. Bro, I'm gonna be honest. Bro, I would even say, like, reconsider this shit. Like, bro. All right. I think it goes to the top. Okay, I don't know. So the reason why I just don't, it goes in average, of course, but the class, IMO, it's a 2-minute burst class. Doesn't really have the greatest survivability. The fluidity of the class is very clunky. It feels like you're playing a rock with this class. It does have a dummy, which is amazing for solo bossing. Yeah, I understand I play bowmaster, but bowmaster is 10 times more enjoyable to play than marksman, bro.
It's objectively way better than marksman. I mean, the damage is better on bowmaster. The movement is better on bowmaster.
Yeah.
The survivability is better on bowmaster. Yeah. Everything is better on bowmaster. The training was better on bowmaster. Obviously, everybody has training. We're not going to factor that in. Yeah, like marksman. And marksman is a clunky block. It's like a brick. Like, if you want to play a boring-ass bricked-up class, go play fucking marksman. All right, now some of you probably will go and jump on marksman. Facts.
As a main, at the top of reconsider. That's what I would say. I'm sorry. I know you guys,
I'd also put it there.
Yeah, as a main, bro, like, I don't think you're gonna have a fun time at all playing it. Low-key.
Yes. Mercedes.
We're gonna move on to Mercedes.
Very underplayed class. And before we get into this class, I would highly recommend. Let's get more Mercedes in this game.
Yes.
This class is fucking broken. Objectively, I honestly think this class is better than fucking Nightwalker. There's just not a lot of Mercedes playing. This class is
we'll talk about
insane,
Mercedes.
man.
So
Yes.
here's the thing. Mercedes, it takes there's a little bit of a learning curve with Mercedes, so you're gonna have to spend more time learning the class, but the learn is well worth the payout that you will receive playing this class. This class is extremely good damage dealing, also offers party support to your party, has really good movement IMO too.
Very, very good movement. Very good movement.
Yes. Movement is insane. It's just
yes, very good movement. Hurricane class. Right now, it's not a combo class that much because of the second mastery.
Yeah.
Or it wasn't a combo class, I should say. Now I think you do combo on it a little bit more. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong there.
Yes.
But the overall burst on the class as well too is very easy to perform. Very easy and quick. It's quick too, so you're not gonna mess it up a lot.
Offers untouchable.
It offers untouchable, but not only is this class offering untouchable, it's also offering 5% final damage perma. It's a class that's doing the most damage in the game on its burst, but it's also offering 5% final damage perma to the entire party. Like, this class is actually just insane in every single aspect in the game. Obviously, the training and on every single class is very good. We're not even going to talk about that. And the class also just looks amazing too. Like, I know we haven't said anything about aesthetics on this class, but if I were to ever main another class, if you ask me right now, drop the Adele and go main another class, Mercedes 100% of the way.
100%.
I'm maining Mercedes all day long. This class is just insane.
It's a Freud's class too, so it's pretty much iframe like for 30 seconds when you're bursting. So I mean, the class is just overall insane. This class is crazy. Take the time to learn the class. It's different than a lot of Maple classes, but it is worth learning this shit and maining this class, bro. It is so good. It is so good. Bishop.
Yeah, we're getting. Yeah, you already know.
Okay,
so you can't play the game without this class.
So Bishop goes at the. I mean, of course, like, it needs a tier for itself, but we're not gonna do all that because then it's just like y'all know that it's the best. It's just the best class in the game. The solo bossing is amazing. The party bossing is amazing. The survivability on this class is absolutely insane. The class is crazy. Gives 80 FD to the party, like, bro.
And not only is survivability amazing for yourself, but this class is also giving you door to all party members. It's giving fountain to all party members, which is restoring, I think, is it 100% HP to anybody who clicks up?
Yes,
it's also giving cups as well to everybody. So they're also able to sip on those cups and those fountains all fight long. Like, the kit on this class is just, like, it's almost unbelievable how good this class is.
Yeah, we said enough about Bishop. Moving on.
Oh, Phantom. Now, the absolute complete polar opposite. Zero support. It does no damage.
The class overall needs to fucking be, like, buffed or something. It is a Freud's class. You can do some cool movement on the class. Like,
it is a Hurricane class. It is a Hurricane class as well, too. It looks cool, too. It looks cool, too.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of Reconsider, I wouldn't recommend this class. There's a lot of things to micromanage. Like, you're just, like, really nonstop doing things, honestly. You're not really being rewarded too much. Not the best solo bossing at all. Actually, very bad solo bossing, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's a very bad solo bosser. IMO.
I think Phantom, we can move up these swap mains as well. I don't know.
Phantom would be a very good solo bosser if it just got a little bit better damage. It's just the damage isn't there. But the overall kit itself is very good. Origin is very bad on this class as well, too. It's quick origin. Yeah, it's a quick origin, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. But the actual overall 3-minute burst is not good.
No, even if it's at the bottom of this tier list, though, like, there's of course it has things. It has iframes as well. Good, better survivability than a lot of classes. The class overall is cool. It's a Hurricane class. Just because it's at the bottom doesn't mean it doesn't have good things.
And it doesn't mean that it can't get better. It doesn't mean that it can't get better. Kaiser, obviously, as a lot of people know, is a non-existent burst class, pretty much. But the class is very good DPM, very good solo bossing. I'd argue that this is the best solo bosser in the entire game, not only because of its DPM, but because its ability to actually have the highest DPM on a boss the entire time. This class has a TP. It's very, very quick. You can pretty much telecast on this class consistently while you're keeping damage uptime. It does have iframes as well. I think it's a 45-second or 30-second iframe. I can't remember.
It does have iframes. It does have iframes as well, which is pretty good. Kaiser is a DPM heavy class. If you don't like doing maximum uptime on a boss, you probably wouldn't like Kaiser. But if you like attacking the boss non-stop, doing consistent damage, reliable damage, you'll probably enjoy Kaiser. Not the best party bosser because again, it's not a big burst and doesn't really have anything that it offers a party.
Below hero, below hero above Thunderbreaker.
Okay,
that's what I think.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're moving on to AB. We're moving on to fucking AB.
Just recently got a rework. It's definitely an average for sure. The class is the DPM has like a 1 minute burst, so I mean you're consistently doing damage. The solo bossing is pretty good on AB. It does have iframes, I believe. The mobility is pretty good. Has a really satisfying flash jump IMO.
Very good. Very good. Very, very good flash jump. Very good flash jump. And this burst gets off very, very quickly as well. It has a very strong burst. The Seekers just got boosted on the class, so overall had a very good second mastery. Obviously, the training doesn't matter anymore. You used to be able to Seeker train, but obviously we're not, considering that, so it's not really anything important anymore.
Oh, it's also it's like iframe for so long on its burst too. Like it's like very good. Like you're gonna have a good time like playing this class and bossing with the burst.
Also has dice. Yes, that is something to talk about. Regardless of the actual consideration of how well it farms or mobs, the class does have dice, so you are getting more EXP per hour just from the class heavy dice.
Yeah. Next, okay, we have Kain. Kain. Okay, Kain is crazy good. I think Kain is almost.
Kain goes in almost bis. Yes, so, Kain goes in almost bis.
Here's the thing with Kain. Kain is a 3-minute DPS burst class with a very, very, very strong origin.
Very strong
the
origin.
playstyle on this class is pretty crazy. You have a lot of iframes, great movement capabilities, an insane dash, iframes, and just big damage. Their off burst is a little bit weaker for sure.
Yes. Well, no. Well, its off origin burst is a bit weaker. Honestly, this class is a very, very heavy origin gated burst class. Like, yeah, the burst is decent, but it's nowhere near its origin. This class is looked at as god tier because of its origin, but without its origin, it is very, very, very.
And I also don't think either that it's as hard to learn as people make it out to be as well. There's a little bit of a learning curve, just a little bit. Once you get it down, I think you're gonna have a good time. Also has like a little bit of a rope lift skill for good movement. Like this should really be flying around the fucking map.
It does have good movement. It does have good movement. Yep. It does have good movement. It does have an overall very good kit. Yeah. Very good kit. Yes, exactly.
Yep. I think it's a good class to main, bro. I would really recommend Kain. I think it's a different class. And I think you'll have a good time and a fun time playing this class for sure.
Cadena.
Cadena is a 3-minute burst class, but it's a little bit more on the extreme to learn how to play this class at an actual good level.
Very high skill ceiling. Very high skill ceiling for different reasons. Not only one is it a very high APM class, that's not the only reason what makes this class very difficult. I think the thing that makes this class extremely difficult is a play on the fly class. This class is very reliant on skipping cooldowns, so it's not a lot of just muscle memory that you're going off of. You have to consistently look at most of your skills to see if they reset and play on the fly while you're in bossing to keep 100% damage uptime or high damage uptime in bossing. Now, this class's origin is extremely good, literally one of the best in the entire game. Absolutely, for sure. The off origin is still pretty decent as well, but it's a longer burst. So it is a little bit more challenging sometimes to get the entirety of your damage off.
Well, and this class also has pretty good survivability. Contrary to popular belief, this class has an overshield and also has iframes too. Or has an iframe as well. No, if you're going to main Cadena, you are going to be putting in work, bro. You are going to be putting in fucking work, but it pays off. It does pay off.
Yes, it pays off better.
Adele.
And all honesty, Adele is a very, 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 a very rewarding class to play. 3-minute class. It is a burst class, but it's also a DPM class as well. This class has very, 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 very good DPM. Some of the best DPM in the entire game if you do play it correctly. But the origin burst on this class is okay as well. It is not the strongest origin burst in the entire game, but the overall origin and off origin is very good. Now, the thing that is a bit difficult on this class is that it does have a high skill ceiling. It does have a very high skill ceiling.
Yup.
You do have to monitor a lot of things while playing this class, and it is a bit clunky. It is very,
clunky,
very
for sure.
clunky.
It definitely is. It definitely
This
is.
is one of the slowest attacking classes in the entire game, so it's absolutely clunky. It is absolutely clunky. Bro, it's like either at the top of average or the bottom of almost bis. Like it's very good, yeah. It's a very overall well-rounded class. One of
So
the best.
where?
I would say at the low almost bis or at the top of average, but you could even put it at the bottom of right below cadena, yeah.
Moving on to another Flora class, Illium. This class is extremely underrated right now.
Underrated.
It is so good. It is so good right now. It is I mean, I wouldn't even know what to call this class. Is this a 2-minute or a 3-minute? Actually, I don't know. Is it a 2-minute or a 3-minute? I mean, it's a crazy good damage dealing class. 3-minute class? Okay, it's a 3-minute DPS class that does offer very useful party utility.
Very good, useful party utility.
No,
10-second iframe for the entire party.
Yeah, and the good things about this class is that it has insanely fun movement, crazy good movement.
Very good movement. The mosquito class. Yep, you fly around like a little mosquito.
Yeah, you're flying around like a little mosquito on a wall.
I would say this class has this class literally, in my opinion, has the best solo bossing in the game. Like hands down. I think this class has the best damage uptime, the best DPM, the most reliable DPM. Like meaning you can keep that uptime on a boss in almost every single scenario, which is not possible on majority of classes in the game. I definitely would say that this is 100% almost bis.
Go play fucking Illium, bro. The damage is good, solo bossing is good, fluidity of the class, survivability. Like you are gonna have a fun time playing Illium, high key.
Yes, a very good time.
Dark Knight. Honestly, bro, let's just talk about the class we can talk about the class like overall as well. I mean, it offers good things. Like it has really good survivability. The movement, I personally feel like that shit is clunky as fuck. It has like a slow ass dash, but the survivability definitely will carry the class for their solo and party bossing.
Pact is very good. Very good. And it's affected by buff duration as well. So that pact can go up to, what's the max length that pack can go up to? It's a skill that you can pretty much use it's a very long cooldown. I don't remember the cooldown on it, but it's pretty much essentially puts you in iframe for almost 2 minutes essentially.
I mean, the solo bossing is cool. It's a DPM class. The party bossing, not that great.
Again, it's one of those classes that when you get very strong, this class has very high capabilities of having some of the fastest solo bossing in the game, just because you're able to clear certain thresholds so quickly without having to fully burst, just because it does have short cooldown burst like DB. But when it comes to actual other bossing outside of solo bossing, it's just not that strong.
Next on this list, Fire Poison. Okay, I've played Fire Poison before, and honestly, it's like fun and satisfying and shit.
They nerfed the origin, man. They nerfed the origin. Like it was decent. It was a decent 6-minute class.
I mean, I did swap mains. Like I did play this shit and swapped it back.
Its origin got gutted, so it's not a 6-minute anymore. It doesn't really offer any support to the party. It's very good solo bossing. If you want a solo bossing class and that's all that you care about, if you're like a solo prog player, then yeah, maybe you would enjoy Fire Poison more. But overall, as a class, it's not that great. And the easiest thing that you could do to gain the most amount of value is literally job change to Bishop.
I mean, Bishop is available, bro. Bishop is available, I can't lie. It's definitely teetering on like reconsider or like swap mains.
It's a weird spot, honestly. It's like the best answer is like just put it at the swap to Bishop.
Put it at the top, bro. We'll just put it at the top, bro. We'll just put it at the top. Khali. Okay, this class
shit about this class, man.
Yeah, this
I don't know anything about this.
But there's just not enough representation. We have not heard anything about this. Still, Khali is still one of the classes that we have not done a showcase for. It's just very unrepresented right now and don't really know too much about where to put this. Zero support,
party Gigaburst, middle, top of average. I think middle of average maybe is suitable. I mean, I just don't know. I've never seen this class really perform at any level in the game. I've never played it myself. I don't know anything about this class.
Yeah, I was gonna say
mobility I know is good. Yeah.
Very good mobility. We're just gonna put it in average for now. Like, don't really have a solid answer for it. Just gonna go in the middle of average. Bucc. Okay, Bucc is a 3-minute class.
No, 3-minute DPM class. 3-minute DPM class. 3-minute DPM class. This class is a very good solo bossing class. This class does have a very strong 90-second burst as well. As most people know, Howling Fist, very strong class. This class is very, 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 very good with the overall kit with survivability. This class is iframed for 4 attacks during its burst, not including Jenny iframe. This class does also have defense form as well. That is pretty much procking every 75% of the time. This class does also give a bit of support as well. It does have banner. So it is giving 50% all stats to everybody in the party. So it does offer a little bit of support. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. This class has insane movement, some of the best movement in the entire game. This class is never locked in animation. This class is extremely good if you are a player who likes to greed damage. If you are a player who likes to greed damage and you like to be very aggro on the boss, this is the class that you should play. You are never locked in animation. You can dash out of animation for literally everything. Overall, the class is solid. It's not amazing. The damage output isn't huge, but it's not bad either.
High average? I agree. I think it goes in high average for sure. Like, you can do some crazy movement with it and really good survivability. Decent burst. Well, actually,
maybe I would say maybe underneath Shadower. I don't know. Because I'm like looking... Because I feel like the damage... Actually, maybe above Shadower. Because I feel like the damage is about the same as Shadower, but way less effort.
Pathfinder is next up on this list. Pathfinder is a 2-minute burst DPS class. I think Pathfinder is a great main. It definitely is going to be in the average tier. Where we place it, we'll see.
Absolutely.
This class has insane movement capabilities, and it's so easy to manage the movement and not like lose control where you're doing like dumbass shit. Like, it's super fucking simple, straight to the point, has a condensed burst too, and pretty good DPS, like DPM.
It's 6% FD on burst essentially is what it comes out to. Above average. The support definitely makes it more decisive.
Actually, above mihile.
I think it goes right underneath the Shadower, honestly. I think it goes underneath Shadower.
Yeah,
or maybe there. I don't know how strong
BM.
Khali is.
It's definitely over BM for sure. Hayato,
2-minute class. Very, 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 very good class, especially compared to what it was. This class is extremely strong. They did take away, this class did used to be a hurricane class, so it was a bit easier, but this class has fucking iframes like crazy. This class has fucking life support like fucking crazy. This class's movement is absolutely insane. It's a 2-minute class. I'm not going to talk about the training. The training was insane, but like this damage on this class is very good. It's not only good in covert, you're coping. This class is very, very, very strong. Now, the thing that a lot of people will say is, but it's a Sukunos class, so it's harder to time Sukunos. And it's not good in party bossing. Blah, 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 blah. Not true anymore, because they did buff Sukunos slightly to where you don't have to wait as long to actually burst to get maximum FD from Sukunos. Overall, very, very, very strong. This class definitely, in my opinion, would either go somewhere in between Cadena and Adele.
It's a solid DPS. It's a solid DPS.
Yes.
And yeah, good movement, good survivability. Does what it needs to do. Does what it needs to do.
Oh, Lara. Sorry, yeah. Lara. They look the same. I can't tell. But Lara does no damage, unfortunately.
That's just gonna go down there.
Yeah.
Cause I'm gonna be honest. All right, here's the thing with Lara, bro. It is what it fucking is, bro.
It is what it is.
The damage really is not that good in solo bossing or in party bossing. Does this class have iframes? Like, it's a DPM class with no DPM. Like, what is this class even good at? Like, honestly, it's good at training. This shit got a baby-ass flash jump, too. Like,
it's got a baby-ass flash jump. It doesn't even have a TP. It has a fake TP.
Anyway,
right.
Hey.
Moving on. Hoyoung.
Okay.
It's a complex 3-minute burst class. Complex in the way, in a meaning that it has a very unique kind of playstyle. It is a gauge class. This class does work in a way where you need to fill up your gauge to use certain skills. It seems confusing, but if you're maining it, you get the gist of it. But it is a very, very, very overall well-rewarding class. The movement on this class is absolutely insane. It has one of the best iframes in the entire game. This class has a on-demand floating skill that you can use whenever, wherever, however. There is no cooldown for it like other classes. The origin burst is very strong. The actual burst is very strong. It's just a lot of work. You have to play well to get good damage out.
I definitely would put it at almost this, bro, for sure. It does really good damage too, and it's
I
fun
would
to
say
play.
I would say, I don't know. It might be a little bit higher than that, to be honest. I think it may even go like underneath illium.
It goes
Maybe.
by cadena, low key.
Yeah, I think it goes above. Yeah. I think those last 4 classes are very niche in their own way.
Next on this list is
Lynn.
Lynn. This is a very DPM heavy
Very
class. Very
This
new
class, 2-minute DPM class. Now, this class's burst is very weak, but the DPM, holy shit, when I tell you this class's DPM is actually insane. Like, it's actually insane. It's like you're permanently bursting. Like,
that shit goes
whatever
crazy.
that tiger swipe skill is called just does so much DPM, and this class is also a extremely strong support class
This
as well.
is King Chipper
40
the Third. And
Yes, very good support class. The support does scale with int, but it does not stack with Benny, which is very unfortunate. If it stacked with Benny, it would absolutely be one of the best classes in the game. But it does not. This class has a lot of weird little clunky things with it, or not clunky, but a little few niche things. You can TP your entire party members to certain points on the map. You also have skills that pretty much set down a barrier that gives everybody inside that barrier 1 free door. You can reset your flash jump with like the dash and like do a bunch of weird crazy movement. The movement is very cracked out in this class. I definitely would say
it's definitely
I'd definitely
garbage
say,
end game for sure. It's not the greatest at end game.
Not necessarily. Like, X Lotus has its value with it. X Lotus has its value. Limbo slightly has its value. I definitely would say it's either at the top of average or at the end of almost bis. The thing is, here's the problem with it. The problem with it is that it doesn't stack with Benny. If it's stacked with Benny, it's absolutely at the top of almost bis or in God tier, 100%.
Oh my God, if it's stacked with Benny, holy shit.
Yes. It's the fact that Benny fucks with this class's support why it's not up there as high as it is.
Kinesis. I don't even know much about this class. I'm gonna be fucking honest. Like,
Number one, I don't know a lot of people who play this class. I don't know a lot of I don't know a ton about this class, to be honest. I just really don't know a lot about this class, to be completely honest. I think it would be at the bottom of average, to be honest.
yeah, we're just gonna put it at the bottom of average. Yeah, moving on to 0. So
0 actually isn't that bad anymore.
Okay, so I'm just trying to think of the other things as well when it comes to 0. 0 is definitely a harder class to learn. There's
harder
a
class
lot
to
of
learn for sure.
things to get into when it comes to 0. Now, damage-wise and your solo bossing, 0 goes crazy in solo bossing. That
One
shit
of the
goes
best
crazy.
solo bossers in the game. This and illium are some of the top 2. I think if I were to say the top 2 classes in the game for solo bossing, it would be illium and 0. These 2 without a doubt are some of the best solo bossers in the game.
Yes, and when it also comes down to solo bossing, this shit also has insane survivability. Is this class like iframe for like 20 seconds on its burst, like every other burst? It has an iframe for like 20 seconds?
Yes.
Pairing with Jenny?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this class does also provide stuns to the boss and crit binds to the boss. So it can critical bind the boss every X amount of seconds, but it can, I do believe that it can skip its stun and just like perma stun the boss. If it's able to, if I remember correctly, or I might have it mixed up.
Now, if you are gonna play 0, like, you do need to like play well. Like, it's not just a class that you could pick up and just like do damage without really fully understanding what you're doing. Like, you have to lock the fuck in when you're playing this shit.
Yes, you have to be locked in. If you are a handsless little piggy, you ain't gonna be able to play this class. I'm sorry. Please just swap off, because you are doing very obsolete damage to what it can do.
Yes.
But if you are good at this boss, you will be performing very well. I mean, it's good. I just wouldn't recommend it, but it does still, I don't know. It does still.
I think it just goes like at the top of average, honestly. But again,
I was gonna say. Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Okay, we have a couple more classes to put on here, which is Shade and Aran, but I don't even think we should.
To be determined. Yeah, we're not even doing these. We're not doing these. We don't know what they're actually gonna have. What's gonna happen to them when they come to GMS? Like, we just don't know.
Yeah. I would just go like this, bro. I really would just delete the SWAT mains. Wait. I would just really delete the SWAT mains.
Yeah.
And just keep it like this, honestly. Like,
this is the best. This is the best way. This is what should be screenshotted and shipped to Reddit if that was what was gonna happen.